You guys have a lot to say this morning. A lot of people have asked me how remote the AT is. You go through lots of towns. I'm walking through Atkins, Virginia right now. I just spent the night at the Long Neck Lair, and it's the first night I've ever spent the night in a hiker hostel. And I'll have to say that I was pleasantly surprised, and I feel like I lucked out and stayed the night in a very nice one, and met some other through hikers. No Rush, Hot Potato. Blue Jeans is not a through hiker, he's a friend of Hot Potatoes. But yeah, and the owners, Ken and Cindy, man, their story is amazing. They're wonderful people. So, you know, if you're through hiking or section hiking, I would definitely recommend a night. And getting ready to hop back on the AT. It's going to be a beautiful day today. Lots of sunshine and blue skies. I will see you further on up the trail. So I just had a major ordeal at a creek crossing. I took a wrong turn, and I'm on the right path now, but yeah, so both my shoes are wet and my socks are wet. So I took out my inserts out of my shoes, and I have my socks that are soaked through hanging out on my backpack drying. But I am where I need to be, Virginia 17. And this is the parking area, the Davis Cemetery parking area. Beautiful countryside. A lot of fence styles through here. I did have a tick on me this morning, but it was just crawling on me, so they are coming out, so I'm definitely gonna have to do a thorough tick check tonight. You definitely have to be prepared, obviously, but even early on, because it has been so warm. I did treat my clothes and my gear, some pieces of my gear, before my trip. They say it only lasts for 6 to 7 washings, and then you have to retreat again. I try not to put any kind of deep on my skin, but you know, that versus Lyme's disease, which I have had several people in my life that I know that have had Lyme's disease. It's nothing really to fool around with. So, you know, we've had a really mild winter, so I'm going to have to definitely, I'm checking my leg for ticks because I keep feeling like something's crawling on me. I don't think so. You know, one splatter of mud could actually be a tick. I remember years ago going blackberry picking in a field that was private property, but it wasn't necessarily a, you know, blackberry farm. And they gave us permission to pick on it, and you know, with my longer hair, even though I had it in a ponytail. When I got home that night and was brushing out my hair, 3 ticks came out of my hair. So that's really all I can think about right now. I do have my hair in a braid, and usually I will spray my hat, which I have, but I can't remember the last time I did. So I definitely need to do that tonight. I'm trying to answer some questions that I get along the way from friends, family, acquaintances that aren't familiar with hiking the AT. And one of the questions was, how and where do you go to the bathroom? Well, in the woods. All joking aside, there are what they call privies outside of some of the shelters. I do not like going to the bathroom in the privies. They're basically an outhouse. And the reason being is because they're just really dirty. And I know people say, well, it's dirty out in the woods, but no. The privies are like human dirty. So I try to avoid that at all costs. Typically, you know, some women, there's all different types of devices for women. The Go Girl. I never really found them easy to use. So I just take my pack off and squat. And the number 2, I dig a cat hole. And usually I'm pretty regular, so after I have my morning coffee, I have to do my number 2. So I dig my cat hole the night before, and with my trowel, and make sure I have a rock ready to cover it up once I bury it. That way in the morning, when the urge sets in after my coffee, I can go to it fairly quickly. You know, just making sure it's somewhere private and off the trail. So yeah. And then when I go through towns, obviously, I use a bathroom in town. One of the hikers yesterday, or this morning actually, we were joking. I'm like, I feel like I need to carry sanitizing wipes. Or those toilet seat covers. But I'm sure I would get picked on for that. I don't want to take the chance of what I could possibly pick up on a public toilet seat, let alone a privy toilet outside of a shelter. Some women have learned the art of peeing in a cup or a bottle per se in their tent when it's cold out. Obviously it's easier for a man to do that, but I've heard of women, look at that view. I have heard of women practicing in the shower with their said bottle that they're going to use in their tent. Obviously you don't want to miss that bottle inside the tent unless you want urine all over your tent and your gear. And I have 2 vestibules on my tent, so usually, you know, I'll leave the one rolled open on the side that I would get out in the middle of the night if I need to. Some women carry wipes. Even some men carry wipes. I do. And then I pack them out. I have a separate Ziploc bag that I put them in. And when I get to a place where I can dispose of my trash, I do so. There are now backcountry bidets. And I have one. I have a separate water bottle that I attach it to. It's basically just a screw-on cap that has a slit in it. And you squeeze the bottle and the water squirts out and, you know, cleans your backside. It's not too much skill in it. Just get your aim right and you're good to go. So anyways, I'm going to continue trekking up this little hill here, and I will see you further on up the trail. So my mama says that she would like to see more of my happy face in my video footage. So this one is for you, Mom. I will see you guys further on down that trail. Love ya. Mean it. Bye. Well, I just got done brushing my hair out frantically to make sure I had no ticks because I had 2 ticks on my legs today. They did not get into my skin. I caught them before they did their little nasty burrowing. This is officially day 6 of my journey on the AT, and I have to say that today was not, collectively of all the miles that I've hiked on the Appalachian Trail, was not the easiest day for me. My shoes were soaked, my socks were soaked. I got turned around a little bit, not lost, but turned around, and I was just not feeling, you know, my happy-go-lucky self today. And it's interesting because I'll have, you know, folks ask me, well, what mile are you at as far, you know, into your through hike? And I'm like, you know, I really don't know. You know, I've been keeping track of it once a week, but at this point I'm just hiking. But I did not realize after such a tough day that I would come across a sign. I had hiked in my lifetime 1/4 of the AT. And I mean, the majority of those miles do not count for my through hike, but I've hiked all those miles of the AT, and it just, to me, I don't know, it was worth celebrating. So it definitely made my day. And yeah, so I'm sipping my tea, celebrating. And just wanted to tell you guys, thank you for following my journey. I really appreciate it. Just all of your well wishes and comments, again, have meant a lot to me. And I will see you guys further on up the trail tomorrow. Cheers.